Just take a little time, settle in, get yourself comfortable, and we can get started. So I'm going to have us start the same way we started the other day with rest your eyes. So for rest your eyes, you just start in a comfortable sitting position and then you start rubbing the palms together. And you put a little bit of pressure on those palms and you make these small circles, and you're probably already feeling it. You start to feel some warmth generating in the palms of the hands. From here, when you feel ready, when you feel like you've got them just the right temperature for you, you can just bring the heels of the hands to the cheeks and cover the eyes with the palms. And it's your choice whether to open or close your eyes. I really prefer having my eyes closed for this one personally. And as the warmth from your hands sort of settles into the eyes, just invite your eyes to soften and relax. You might take a few breaths here, giving yourself a little time to transition away from whatever it was you were doing before our session started. The attention is shifting internally. So just letting yourself release any of the thoughts, any of the to-do lists, any of the busyness that you may or may not have been bringing in to our session. And you can keep your hands where they are if that's comfortable, or you can let the hands release into your lap. And from here, we're going to start with a little bit of breathing. And for our breathing today, I'm going to invite us to try anchor breathing. So for anchor breathing, you choose an anchor. So maybe the anchor is the chest or the heart. Maybe the anchor is the belly. Both hands can rest on the belly. Or you can also have the anchor be the nose. And wherever you choose your anchor, I almost always choose the heart. I like that anchor for myself, but choose which one you prefer. We're just going to invite our attention to rest at the anchor while we do some breathing. Now, the function of the mind is that your mind is going to wander. That is what the mind likes to do. So, our practice while we do this exercise is that when we notice the mind wandering, we just invite that attention right back to the anchor. Okay? So, and again, comfortable sitting position. There's a little lift in the chest, a little softness in the shoulders. The belly is gently drawing back. So, we're giving ourselves some support. We talked about support on Tuesday. So we're giving some support at the base, and that allows us to lift up softly. So take a breath in and take a breath out through the nose. And you're just going to keep this nice, gentle rhythm of the breath going in and out. As you settle into this rhythm, allow your attention to rest at your anchor. And in order to engage your attention, you can notice specific things about your anchor. You might notice whether the anchor is moving or whether it's still. You might notice the feeling of your hands touching the anchor, the softness or roughness of the fabric, the warmth or coolness of the skin. And again, just keeping those nice, gentle breaths going. We'll do about 10 more seconds. And just remembering if and when that attention wanders, just invite the attention right back to your anchor. And from here, releasing your anchor, just taking a moment to check in and just notice how you're feeling. Notice how your mind is feeling. If you've created any sense of calm or spaciousness, just kind of checking in. All right, so from here, we're gonna make our way into our movement practice. And today we're gonna start the practice standing. So let's give that a try. Think I've set things up. Well, yes, I think I've got it, so I don't even have to move my camera today. We're gonna start in mountain pose. And in mountain, your feet can either be touching each other, hands right by the sides, or with some stability, you can bring the feet about hips width apart. So your choice, what feels right for you, wherever you are. Let's just bring that attention to the feet. If you have your shoes off, you can kind of spread the toes out. If the shoes are on, you might still be able to do that if you've got your sneakers on. And just pressing down into the feet, pressing into the base of the big toe, the base of the pinky toe, and the inner and outer edge of the heel. And you notice when we pay attention to the foot, suddenly the legs start to get active. So you actually feel that connection between the base of the foot and the muscles of the legs. And now let's invite a little movement. So we're just going to inhale to reach the arms up for sunrise. Exhale, bring the hands to your sides for mountain. Again, inhale, reaching up, sunrise. Exhale for mountain. Inhale, again, sunrise. And if you like, if you feel like you want a little extra work, you can bring the palms to touch and lift your gaze. And then exhale back to mountain. Let's do one more. Nice. And now we're going to add on. So we're going to inhale, the arms reach up, and your choice, hands can stay parallel or touch. Exhale to fold. So we're going into our recharge sequence. The hands can touch the ankles, the shins, maybe the floor, the head relaxes down. Inhaling, lifting halfway up. Exhaling to fold. Inhale all the way up, arms up, palms touch. And exhale, hands down for mountain. Again, inhale and exhale. Inhale halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up, arms up. And exhale for mountain. And again from here, take a pause. Just notice how the breath feels in the body. Notice if the heartbeat's elevated and anything else your body's telling you. From here, we're gonna give big toe a try. So for big toe, your feet are about hips width apart. You're gonna take a nice gentle breath in. And then as you exhale and you have these 2 fingers up, or four, 4 fingers on 2 hands, as you exhale, you're folding. The fingers can touch again. They could touch shins, you could bend the knees, you want to feel supported. They could touch ankles, or maybe they take a hold of the big toe. Inhale, the head lifts up again. Then exhale, fold your head down. Big breath in and out. In and out. In and out. Inhaling to look up. Exhale, release the hands. You can bring them to your waist. Press through the feet. Low belly draws back. Inhale, lift up to stand. And exhale, hands down for mountain. Really nice work. Again, as we go through this practice, you want to check in with yourself, right? So you're listening to your body's cues, you're making choices that feel right to you. Next pose is triangle. We're stepping the feet apart, pressing down through the soles of the feet, again, to feel nice and active. And then we're going to rotate. So for me, I'm doing my right, but you might be doing your left, doesn't matter which one. Rotate one foot so the toes point forward. The other heel is going to ankle back. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to stretch. And we'll come right into it. So bringing that hand anywhere that's comfortable on the leg. The other hand can come on the hip. And this is like a nice foundation. You can stay right here. Or from here, maybe you rotate the gaze up to the ceiling. Maybe that upper arm reaches up. It's your choice, right? Finding a version of the pose that feels good. Big breath in and out. In and out. In and out. Press down through the feet. Inhale, reach up. Toes point straight ahead, and we'll take it right to the other side. So you're gonna pivot the other toes to point back, angle the back heel, press down through the feet so you really feel that strong legs, the support from the ground. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling to stretch. You might get a little pop, and hopefully a good pop. And hand to the hip. Roll the body open so that we're really feeling this nice side stretch, strong in the legs. And again, your choice. But if you like, you can reach that arm up. Big breath in and out. In and out. Nice. Inhaling to come up, arms extend, and exhaling, stepping the feet together. And again, just taking a pause here, noticing how that feels in the body. Jill talked in her session about slowing down and how, when things get really fast and busy, we have that ability to just take a pause, take a few breaths, let things move slowly. And I think that's really nice advice. Okay, so from here, we're gonna do one more standing pose, maybe two. The feet are gonna spread a little wider this time, right? The hands can start on the waist. And then again, we're gonna pivot the toes. So we're gonna point the right toes toward the, turn them to the side, angle the other toes back, and we're coming into warrior. So we're bending into that front knee. And then that back hip is going to start to draw forward. So your hips are turning square toward the, if you had a mat, it would be the front of your mat. Otherwise, it's just toward the side. And then let's inhale those arms up. So nice breath in and out. In and out. In and out. Inhale to straighten. See if you can stay with me. We're just going to pivot the feet and bring it around to the other side, right? So now the other toes are pointing straight back, the heel angles, and with an exhale, you bend into the knee. If you need to pause and reassess, or you can always bring your hands down. You want to feel, again, that both of the feet are pressing into the mat, that hip is turning, so your torso is squaring, and we'll breathe here. Big breath in and out, in and out, in and out. Inhale to straighten, pivot the feet, and then with the exhale, you can just gently step the feet toward each other. And from here, we're going to make our way back to sitting. So again, coming into a comfortable sitting position, and you can do your seated position any way that feels good for you. If you're in a chair, that's fine. If you have use of the floor, that's fine. So from the sitting position, we're gonna sit up tall. Legs can be crossed, so just, any comfortable position here. And we're gonna interlace the fingers, pressing the palms away from you. Just doing a little gentle movement of the spine with cat-cow. We're gonna inhale the arms up, chest up, head drops back. Exhale to round. Inhale, come up. Exhale to round. One more inhale. Exhale. And release. And from here, we're going to come into our rest. And for the rest today, you can take this as a lying down practice if you have the space to do that. You can also easily do this rest seated. And I'm just going to scoot forward a little so I can see a little better. Great. Okay, so I wanted to end our session with a really lovely practice that we call taking in the good. So, when things are moving quickly, when we feel very busy and overscheduled and all those things, it can be easy for our brain to default into a mode where we're really only noticing negative things, right? We're only noticing things that we want to avoid. We're sort of like trying to keep ourselves safe, but in that we miss a lot of the beautiful things in life. And so taking in the good is a practice that was designed to counter this tendency of the human brain. So, what we're going to do is, again, in any comfortable position, sitting or lying down, eyes can be open or closed, that's your choice. I want you to think of something from the moment you woke up today until right now. And I want you to think of something good that happened. And it can be anything. It can be as simple as you saw a pretty flower on your walk this morning. Your kid said something funny, right? Whatever it is, right? So one small good thing, and I want you to imagine that moment in detail, right? So think of all the senses, right? What were you seeing? What were you hearing? Is there a scent attached to that moment and that memory? And as you recall that memory in great detail, notice how you feel. And for the next 30 seconds, we're just going to allow that feeling to soak in to our bodies, right? Imagining your body's like a sponge, just absorbing that good feeling. And when you're ready, just take a nice big breath in, nice relaxed breath out. If you closed your eyes, you can open them. And that's our practice for the day. Thank you so much for joining me. I feel I can speak for myself and Jill to say that we really love offering these studio series, and we really appreciate folks, showing up to be in community and get the support that we all need in order to continue taking care of ourselves and taking care of others. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful weekend that's just around the corner. And we will see you next time in the studio.